As you know, I do not enjoy the soft, tender embrace of another man.
Nor do I.
So please tell me, what on God's green earth are RTDs, ready-to-drinks, the new hotness? At least if your average dork isn't getting into tequila or rum at the moment.
Yeah, most people... So a lot of whiskey guys and bourbon guys in particular started venturing into tequila. This is probably...
A couple years ago?
After the first year of me being at the store. Easier to find. Kind of a wide open market. Like people are... So kind of how... Think of it this way, like how Scotch was, where they could use any barrel they wanted to fill, right, and age their whiskey. And then it kind of crept over to bourbon with the double barrel finishes and stuff, right? And all the different things you could do.
It all comes back to the same problem of trying to make
something different.
Yeah, make something different, set yourself apart in that very saturated.
Well, then it went to tequila. And then tequila is like, there are people that are making that are like, oh, we don't have to age them just in the piña barrels that we have in Mexico. We can use bourbon barrels. We can use sherry barrels. We can use whatever barrels we want. So a lot of bourbon guys went to that. Well, one of the phenomenons I saw, and this is backed up just with research, a lot of the younger people.
And when you say younger, you mean 21 and...
Let's call it from 30 to legal drinking age.
Yeah.
Right? So a lot of the younger folks, the Gen Zs or whatever, they've kind of drifted away, which if you paid attention at all, which probably most people haven't, but it's happened with, Scotch, it's happened with rye, it's happened with bourbons. It's cyclical. Like people, there's an ebb and flow.
It goes through its popular phase.
Sure. And then it kind of falls out of favor. And just like with rye whiskey years ago, some bartenders like, well, nobody drinks this shit. Let's make some cool cocktails out of it. Then all of a sudden rye's popular, right? And then same with bourbon, like Pappy Van Winkle and all the stuff that everybody hunts that can't find. That used to just sit on the shelves. Nobody cared.
But even today we see that we're really on the back end of whiskey and bourbon's popular phase?
A little bit. I mean, you're going to have the people, you're going to be 25.
Yes.
And you love whiskey.
Yep.
Right.
Love it all. It's all great.
Right. And I'm 52 and I'm not going to change. Like, I like what I like.
Well, we don't follow trends anyway.
No, I just like what I like. But a lot of the younger kids, I don't know if it's a health conscious thing, or if it's just they're just going a different direction. Now we can talk about RTDs, which in the business we call them RTDs, but it's ready to drink. So anything in a can, excluding like beer, right? Beer's beer.
Yeah, beer's another example. Beer had that big popular phase in the
with the craft phase.
Yeah, the craft phase.
For sure.
And we still drink craft beer.
Yep.
Love it, but it's not as popular.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see a lot of it too much.
And I was balls deep in that.
I remember.
I love that shit.
And still do. It's because it's awesome.
And I still love it. So everything kind of goes through phases. The RTDs, so they're doing stuff like Moscow Mules, like any cocktail you can find at a bar. They're kind of like pre-making them. Like ranch water.
The alcoholic's favorite, Long Island iced tea.
Long Island iced teas. You've got ranch water, which is just tequila and I think club soda or something that you mix with mineral water. You got those. Palomas. You got all these different drinks that are coming canned.
Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Yeah, even the silly, the White Claws and all that shit.
The seltzers, yeah.
Yeah, the seltzers. It's lighter. There's less calories. It's, you don't have to show up to a party with a bottle of whiskey, in a fancy whiskey glass and be like, all right, I'm here to share. You can just show up with a cooler full of different, pre-made margarita stuff, pre-made martini stuff. So a lot of the pre-made stuff is...
part of that's probably, one, health consciousness, which is weird because the rise of RTDs has also been in accordance with the rise of vapes, which are not healthy in the slightest because you're taking a rip off of a hot battery.
Yeah.
But I digress. It's it's a more efficient way to get ripped than even like having a bottle of Fireball is.
Yeah,
and it's more pleasant than guzzling a bottle of Fireball.
Yeah, and I think you can be for a lot of people. Like, not everybody's like me, where I can show up somewhere with a bottle of whiskey, and I'll leave the party and I'm fine.
Yeah.
Right. There's not everybody that's like that, but you can go get something a little higher alcohol than a 5% beer. It's not as filling.
Yeah.
Right. Not as many calories.
That's always a detriment of beer. It makes you feel like a fat piece of what.
Yeah.
After you drink it too many of them.
Yeah. At this point, I can only have one or two, and that's about it for me.
It's a lot of beer.
The other thing that I saw, which was crazy, is the whole THC drink phase of things. So
now, this may come as a shock to you, for those of you just tuning in, but neither him nor I delve at all into marijuana.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I don't like the way it makes me feel. Give me a bottle of whiskey and I'm good. I know exactly what I'm getting. With marijuana, I don't.
Give me a bottle of whiskey and some tobacco and I'll be all right.
Yeah, I'll take whiskey and a cigar any day over that shit. But a lot of kids, weed is very popular.
Not very popular. It is the most popular.
I mean, we saw it with your buddies. I mean, so let's
in high school, in college, even up to my colleagues at work today.
Yeah, and what's crazy is when I was your age, nobody smoked weed. I mean, you had some of the degenerates that would, right?
The ones in the bathroom, yeah.
Right, but...
Or like that scene in Fast Times at Ridgemont High where they come stumbling.
Yeah, Spicoli and them come falling out the damn van. Yeah, but it had a stigma around it, right? I would think back to like Scotch, where Scotch was like, had to look like somebody like you with a gray beard and a pipe. Too much Scotch. Right, so it's just, everything goes through the different phases. But yeah, the THC stuff, and all these different strains, these Delta 9s, these Delta 8 strains.
What is that? So
I have no fucking clue.
Is it like... So it's supposed to like give you the stimulating effect of the alcohol?
And so what people would tell me that would buy it at the store, because we would get stuff in, and it was weird. It'd be in different milligrams, right? Just like if you went to the weed store when we lived in Vegas, and they had the different drinks, and this drink has 5 milligrams, this drink has 10 milligrams.
Well,
this drink has 50 milligrams.
It's foreign to me, but that's almost no different than how when you go to a cigar shop, it's like, all right, do you want a Connecticut wrapper? Do you want a Havana
same
wrapper?
idea.
Do you want a Maduro wrapper?
Yeah, same idea, right? It's just the different strengths.
Right.
So we would have that in the store, and I would always, just because I'm curious, even though I don't like that stuff, but I'd always ask them, I'm like, I mean, do you really like it? Like, and down to a person, they would be like, it gets me where I want to get to. And so if you can, and I think that's where, they are pretty smart depending on the state you live in. Now in this state, Texas has been trying to cut that shit out for years because it's kind of a gray area.
Definitely.
But something just passed, half a dozen months ago where they just kind of let it be status quo.
Oh, really?
So, yep. So they can still sell THC products like that.
Which is funny because if you don't know, Texas is very much against the rise of marijuana.
Yeah, Texas is against anything. Fucking period. Sometimes.
Except tobacco.
Yeah, you can still buy cigars, but yeah. So it's a different time. You're gonna have, like I said before, the ebbs and flows and stuff, and things are gonna come out of favor and into favor, and yeah, I guess I understand it just because I watched you go through high school and I saw a lot of your buddies.
Oh, they were all about it.
That were really big into weed, and I just didn't understand it. I mean, I didn't want you to be part of it. And unfortunately for you, I have a great fucking nose, so I can.
Like we always talked about in my youth, your nose and generally, you getting into whiskey when you did, it allowed me to bypass the phase of my life where I went through, the experimental phase.
Yeah, which instead of experimenting with bullshit drugs, you just were experimenting with different whiskeys and none of your friends were.
Yeah. I mean, even in university, that was That was my big coup de grace with the Hawaiians. I was invited to a birthday party. I rolled up with a bag. I slammed the bag down on the ground, and I pulled out a birthday gift, which was a bottle of Old Forester 86. Great birthday gift.
Yeah.
And then a bottle of what was it? 1792 small batch. Set that aside, and I had a glass of wine to start. I decorked the bottle of wine on my knee, and then the hosts of the party, in a daze because they were drinking Jaeger bombs, they said, "T, you need a glass." I'm like, "No, I'll be all right." And I pulled out the wine glass.
No,
I was ready.
Got your own stuff. Yeah, it's class. I'm not saying that people that smoke weed or drink those things don't have class,
but it is a different culture, and it's a different party scene than like what you and I are doing.
Yeah. I just, for me and the way my body reacts to THC or whatever, it's not good.
As we know, you can be a degenerate with any substance. You can be a degenerate with alcohol very easily, seen in the Great American bar scene. Or you can be a degenerate with tobacco, seen with cigarettes, or really getting after it at the cigar lounge, like some of those.
We've seen some dudes sit down with 4 cigars. I'm like, fuck, how long you gonna sit here for, bro?
All day.
Yeah, that's crazy. One's good enough for me there.
Yeah, 1 or 2. I mean, 1 at the cigar lounge, and then maybe another later in the day. But it has to be
spaced out a little bit.
Otherwise, that's a lot of tobacco.
Yeah, but it's weird. I mean, it's funny to look back now and see how, different, and it break it down individually too, just different people are into different things. And I think these companies, so I knew the guy, this kind of changed, but it's still the same thing because it's an RTD, but the Buzzballs.
Buzzballs are...
It's just basically flavored alcohol, right? I mean, that's the very done it down, right? But they come in a cool baseball looking shape and
idea is that I imagine the idea is that you pound this thing and you get delivered to...
I guess.
You get delivered to...
I guess, but, I knew the guy that was running the plant and, no hate, no disrespect. I really liked the guy.
He was a good fellow.
I just didn't understand...
why he was in that game.
Well, and what's crazy is the lady that came up with that was a retired teacher. And she just wanted some extra money for retirement, and she had an idea. And then just last year recently sold her company to Sazerac for north of $1 billion with a B dollars. Yeah. So there's growth in that, right?
Oh yeah, because it's the new hotness.
Yeah.
So you could say that the lady was there, right place, right time.
Yeah, she was right there at
the
forefront where she came up with the idea. And I don't know how she did it. Maybe come up with some vodka and add some flavoring to it. Be like, this is much better than regular straight vodka.
Because regular straight vodka tastes like nothing.
It's supposed to.
That's the purpose.
But most vodka tastes like rubbing alcohol because it's dog shit. That's just my own personal opinion. But yeah, so the RTDs are an interesting thing.
That's interesting that they're popular.
Well, you think of it this way, bro. If you're partying on a boat, if you're at an outside picnic, I mean, it still looks a little weird if we roll up to a birthday party.
And we slam down our chairs.
We put our chairs down and pull out, 120 proof whiskey. And that's just...
It did flabbergast my cousin's ex-boyfriend when we did that at her graduation party.
Right.
And it was like, those guys have been drinking Maker's Mark 101 and Buffalo Trace all day. And then they just looked at each other and said, Stogie time? Stogie time. And they walked over to the backyard.
Yeah, not everybody's cut out for, the O'Neill.
The O'Neill special.
The O'Neill special. And just sit down and drink and let's go until we're done and go to sleep. We're fine. But yeah, the RTD stuff is really interesting to me. I don't...
It's a world that I don't understand.
I don't get it.
It's just not my world.
I don't get it personally. I mean, I do if you're young. It'd be no different than when I was young and we showed up to a party with a 12-pack of Keystone Light. Because that's what we could afford. And you didn't mind sharing with your buddies, or I even remember when the White Claws came out and, they were light, they were refreshing. It was kind of like drinking flavored water, but
Good for the ladies.
But you caught a little buzz, you know. Yeah, and the THC stuff, I never got into. I didn't even want to try it. Part of me wanted to try it, let's be honest. And just to see, like, does this shit actually work?
Well, does THC even taste like anything?
I don't know. That's the problem. So we sold stuff that was THC Delta 8 or whatever strains they're using to get around the rules in Texas. But we drank stuff. I mean, they had stuff that, you know, just pop it in a can and it tasted like a White Claw or something. But then they had another product that was kind of in the shape of like a whiskey bottle or like a wine bottle per se. And it was super high milligram.
Really?
But it was meant to be mixed used as a mixer.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
So you can add some
dory,
tonic water, or
sure.
you can, you know, add that to some
like
orange
maybe
juice,
make a gin and tonic or something.
Gin and tonic, or add some ginger ale or something, right? And just make it a drink like that. But for the people that like weed, they really like that.
Well, you know, more things change, more things stay the same. Like there's still a great scene among the younger crowd of dumping any kind of whiskey, whether it be bourbon or scotch or Irish whiskey, into soda because it makes it easier to choke down.
Sure, yeah. And for a lot of beginners, I mean, I was there. I did the same thing. I mean, Jack and Coke was my shit. And
at that Halloween party I attended, a couple gentlemen dumped some of that scotch that I brought into Coca-Cola, which I would not recommend.
Oh, that's tough.
That's a savage thing to do.
Scotch and cola.
Heated scotch and cola.
That must have tasted like shit.
I don't think they cared. I told them not to do it, did it anyway.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's nuts.
I try to warn you, which goes to show that, you know, as the seasons change, young people are still trying to get ripped. It just might, the substance might change and the form might change, but, you know, liquor companies have been very smart in capitalizing on that, like with that hard lemonade or the peach cocktail that Jack Daniel's sells in the bottle or what have you.
Yeah.
Even Jack Daniel's itself having a Jack and soda pre-made in a bottle.
Yeah, we used to sell those too.
Yeah.
They came pre-made in the cans.
In cans?
Yeah. We were in the beer section, in the cold section.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, they were canned Jack and Cokes. And they weren't cheap.
They weren't?
No, I remember. I don't remember, but I remember talking to a guy because he wanted to get them, and he looks at me. He's like, "What do you think? Are they worth it?" I'm like,
"Do you really want my opinion?"
I'm like, you can get a small bottle of Jack Daniel's for about $15, and you can pick up a 2-liter bottle of soda for $3, so you got $18, and you can make your Jack and Cokes as strong as you want, or you can buy this pre-made stuff for $15. I'm like, what do you think? He's like, I'll just buy Jack Daniel's and get a thing of soda.
Sacrificing the convenience.
Right, but it's a convenience thing, right?
Right, that's the whole value proposition of like the buzz balls or what have you. It's, you don't have to make it.
Chill it and kill it. And if you just want something that doesn't taste like alcohol.
If you're on a quest to get very intoxicated.
You get hammered, then cool. Like, I was a kid once, I remember. You know, now, that's cool. It's at 52, I don't want to do that now.
And it's an old man in a 25-year-old's body. I don't want to do that either.
Yeah.
It's kind of dry.
Yeah, let's just have some booze, get a little happy, catch a little buzz.
Let's keep this momentum going. I'm losing my buzz.
I'm losing my buzz. From 4 Christmases. Great movie.
It's a great movie. But to that end, if anything, I'm grateful that whiskey's popular phase is over, because it means that, you know, you're seeing more innovation. You're seeing the age statements come back. You're seeing, well, not even innovation, more like a return to form. Age statements are coming back. Scotch is more affordable than it has been for a long time. You know, it's more interesting for the connoisseur.
Yeah, if you like, so most of our videos, all we're doing is talking about the shit on the shelves here.
Correct.
So for us, you know, I don't own a whiskey company.
No.
So it doesn't hurt my feelings that the young kids are going away from whiskey, because that just means like some of the stuff that we found the other day, just sitting on the shelf.
Sitting on the shelf staring at you.
Never seen it before in my life. Never. In 10 years of looking for shit. Like we've got bottles that I've never seen before. Just sitting there. So selfishly, as a bourbon nerd, I'm like, cool. Like all the young kids go away, because then what that's going to do is just open up the door for more cool bottles to be on the shelves.
And then the people that are really into it, they're able to be into it without a lot of the expectations, without a lot of the preconceived notions of something being in vogue.
Sure. Yeah, it's not the cool and hip thing, and everybody's into it. It'll make it better for the people that really are interested. Which I've met a lot of people that, even though they may not have all the information, but they're very curious and they are interested. And it's just going to get to a point, hopefully here soon, where, you know, you can walk into a store, and whether it be on the day they get a delivery or
a few days
after, you see something sitting there, you're like, oh, sweet, I've been looking for this for years. And then you can just buy it and then have it and enjoy it. But, you know, RTD is great. If you love them, drink them. Just don't bring them to my house.
Have at it, soldier.
Peace out.